dangerous consequences for Europe. It is important for the European reader to see that such broadcasts are not just domestic Russian agitation. These are information signals to the outside. They form three key messages. The war can only end with Ukraine's capitulation. The US is ready for a big deal with Russia. Europe is not a subject, but only an extra in this game. If these narratives take hold, it will be more difficult for European society to support sanctions and military aid to Kyiv. The broadcast of 60 Minutes on August 18, 2025 is not a discussion of facts, but a demonstration of a new mythology. Putin won, Ukraine lost, Europe is secondary. Manipulation of facts, selective quotes from Western media, legal substitutions. All this serves one purpose: to convince the audience that resistance is futile and capitulation is inevitable. Zelensky and European leaders are heading to the White House to salvage the situation after Putin's triumphant summit in Alaska. Trump himself blamed Zelensky for the war, saying that the end of hostilities is not a ceasefire that cannot be controlled, but a strong and sustainable peace now depends only on Kyiv. The US president hinted that Zelensky needs to make concessions, give up Crimea, Donbass, and NATO. Trump also reposted someone else's message on social media, which claimed that Ukraine should be ready to lose part of its territory to Russia. Otherwise, the longer this war continues, the more land they will give up. Zelensky himself refers to the constitution of Ukraine, which prohibits the renunciation of territory. But if you persist in this matter, then Zelensky himself, according to the main law of the country, the constitution, is no longer president. And Trump has already made this argument. The White House, as reported by the Washington Post, does not expect that negotiations with the European Union and Zelensky will necessarily lead to a trilateral summit. This is on the one hand, on the other. The publication Axio reports that Trump hopes to hold a trilateral meeting of Putin, Trump and Zelensky already next Friday, August 22nd. The leaders of Europe and NATO have announced that they will be with Zelensky for the high-stakes meeting. According to the schedule on the White House website, the American day when Ukraine's fate may be decided, and this is the mood in which Washington von der Leyen flies, will begin at noon at 1900 Moscow time, with the arrival of the European leaders, that is, without Zelensky. To use a sports analogy, this situation with pressure all over the court, Europe wants to show that it is acting as a united front. No one here wants to see a repeat of the humiliating scene that took place a few months ago. Then Volodymyr Zelensky was harshly reprimanded by Donald Trump in the Oval Office. These will be separate negotiations of sorts, Europe separately, Zelensky separately. If Zelensky does not accept Trump's terms, then Ukraine will be handed over to the Europeans. The US president is giving Kyiv one last chance. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky can almost instantly end the war with Russia if he wants, or he can continue to fight. Remember how it all started. No return of Crimea, which was given away by Obama 12 years ago, without a single shot being fired. No entry of Ukraine into NATO.